Recently I found myself climbing from lower ranks, and since in lower ranks no one cares about messing with enemy jungle, Salomon was my choice. Let's look at that hero's kit and determine what is his role. When you're playing jungle Salomon, your main purpose is to quickly farm your core items with the help of uncontested jungle camps and end the game before enemy team can handle you, or at least create massive amount of pressure on the map so your teammates could catch up. Your first ability creates 8 orbs that rotate around you and explode when hitting enemy heroes. They can do up to 480 magic damage at level 4 of this ability, which is quite a lot. Your ult reduces the cooldown of the skill to 5 seconds. With that amount of damage on such a long cooldown, you can kill almost anyone, even in later stages of the game. But in the beginning, this will serve you as a source of AoE damage to clear jungle camps. Your second skill is pretty bad and only useful when it has reduced cooldown from ult to stay close to enemy heroes, so you can deal damage with Q. And now your main ability, E, which allows us to jungle and get a lot of farm. Finally your ult, as I said before, it reduces the cooldown on your first 2 skills, but also gives you massive increase to HP regen, which allows you to stay in fights and keep dealing damage. In my rotation video I said that we are getting Mog as our first major item, and I want to elaborate why. There are 3 farming items in HoN, Mog, Cleaver and Thunderclaw, which is an inferior version for ranged heroes, since they can use Cleaver, so you can eliminate that from our choice. Now Cleaver does help you farm faster, but has no synergy with our abilities. We have 2 abilities that deal magic damage, and ult that help us tank better. Also, most of the time enemy team will use all the disables on you, and you will not be able to attack. Mog does not have that problem. All you have to do is stand around enemy heroes, and your ult allows you to do that. Plus with Mog you can aggro and farm 2 or 3 camps at once. That's why I think Mog should be a core item for Salomon. When I farm jungle for my Mog, I buy Striders, because they are cheap and Salomon does not need stats or abilities that come from other boots. Later in the game I upgrade them to Post Haste, which helps me stick to enemy heroes in teamfights, but more importantly split push better. Staff is another valuable item, but not a core one. It allows you to be in your ult all the time, but sometimes it feels like a win more item. The stats are not great, and it still costs gold, so you can lose your momentum, wasting your time farming stuff. Usually you want to get it in 3 situations: when you're already winning hard, and stuff will allow you to push one lane non-stop until you get rugs. When you have a good mid hero that got a lot of kills, so buying upgraded stuff will allow them to steamroll enemy even harder. And the last situation is when the teamfight lasts longer than 30 seconds. In other cases you're better off buying next items in the list, which are defensive items. You don't need more damage, your Q and Mog gives you plenty, so the important part is staying alive. If you see that enemy team has a lot of magic damage and disables, that means you should get Drunken and probably Barrier Idol. Against heavy physical lineup, Ulthar's Heavy Blade. Sometimes Demonic, when you want to push a little bit harder, while also protecting your team. When they have equally dangerous sources of physical and magic damage, or even deal pure damage, Biggest Heart could be a solution. Another important and cheap item that could help you combat or deal with heavy burst / glass cannon enemies is Barbed Armor. Best ally for you is a support that can ward your jungle and don't let enemies into it. Besides that, maybe Rhapsody, since you are dealing mostly magical damage, or Jerizaiah that can protect you from both sources of damage. Your main enemies are Lord Sulfuris, Slither and Spellsunder. Against Sulfuris you can simply buy Shrunken and Null. His ult is the only dangerous thing, and you farm way faster than him. There is no good way around Slither, so buy Shrunken and Idol to simply reduce magic damage. The reason why Salomon good in lower ranks is that the enemy team usually not coordinated enough to deal with your ult and won't use their burst damage only on you.
I say.